So this is an occupancy and financial status affidavit. So this is exactly what it sounds like. Financial status affidavit. It's pretty much acknowledging that this is either a primary or principal residence, a second home, or investment. So it'll check off one of the three, and you're just going to confirm that with the signer, okay? You're going to tell them that this is exactly what I just said. You can simplify it in your own words, but that's what this document is for. It's acknowledging one of these three things and what this property is: the principal, the investment, or is it a second home? You're gonna have them sign the second page, and at the bottom you actually have to notarize this one, so don't forget to notarize it at the bottom. Before me on this April 11th by Richard Williams Rogers. Okay, prove to me on this basis of satisfactory evidence to be the person who appeared before me. Then you're gonna sign here, and you're gonna stamp right there and flip it over. All right, so this is a signature name affidavit. The signature name affidavit is going to pretty much, when they look them up in the system, this is all the names that came up. If they were previously married, everything is going to pretty much pop up. Main thing that you want is for them to sign right here, the sample signature. But you can also, to be safe, have them sign their variation as well. And you're going to sign down here with your signature, fill out the date per usual, put your stamp, flip it on over. All right, so this is what's called a limited power of attorney. A power of attorney scares people, but you just want to let them know that it's not anything scary. It's just you're giving us permission to fix the documents. So this is why notaries shouldn't be afraid to make mistakes, because that's what this document is for. This document is pretty much allowing us to fix our mistakes. Mistakes are normal, so that's what this document is saying. It's just allowing us to fix any mistakes that we make, or they make, or whoever makes, while not stopping the loan process. So it's giving us the power to fix clerical or typographical errors. It says that right there, okay? But the limitation is we cannot change any numbers. Obviously, we cannot change anything in a note, the deed of trust, or any important critical documents. We don't have that power. You're not giving us that power by signing a limited power of attorney. That's why it's called a limited power of attorney and not a power of attorney, okay? So you're only giving us permission to fix mistakes that have been made throughout the signing. In short, limited power of attorney just allows us to fix any mistake that we make throughout this process on your behalf. Have them sign after they're done looking at it, okay? Because I know that scares people a little bit, but I just pretty much read it and told them what it is, okay? All right, you're not making anything up. That's literally what that document's saying. And don't feel like you need to be robotic, all right? So you're reading, you're a normal person, you're a human being doing your job. You're telling them what these documents are. You're not hiding anything. You're being transparent. And that's pretty much all they hired you to be. Transparent and notarized. That's what this is for. So we're going to flip that over. And there's another one called the compliance agreement, which is exactly the same thing, saying that they agree to comply. All right. If they made any mistakes, they will comply and work with us to fix the mistakes, essentially. So that's what this document is saying. So they're going to have to sign down there. You notarize that, flip that over. You're good to go with that one. Uniform residential loan application. When they try to take out the loan, they had to apply it, right? So this is just a loan application, and the borrower needs to sign right here. The co-borrower needs to sign right here. And anywhere you see a line, most likely they need to sign where it says borrower and co-borrower. If there's no co-borrower, because this person is a single man, then don't worry about the co-borrower section. But they do need to initial, so make sure you look at that and make sure you get that done, because that's very important. All right, we're going to flip that over. It looks like every page in this document needs to be initialed. So we're going to go through that. Flip it on over. So now you're going to have the borrower sign right here. The borrower's signature. Borrower's signature right here. Co-borrower, there's no co-borrower, leave that blank. Initial right there, make sure they initial. Remember, I'm taking these and I'm giving them to them. So I'm actually like turning it this way and give it to them, and I'm going through it like that. For the sake of this video, I want you guys to see this, so that's why I'm doing it like this. So this is a continuation of that loan application. You got to sign here, date there. There's no co-borrower, so you are fine. Nothing to sign there. U.S. Patriot Act. So this is very important. So this is why you needed a picture of their IDs, okay? You need a picture of their IDs or a copy. Either way, the lenders are going to need some kind of proof that you were there. That's their way of getting proof, by getting a picture from or a copy of their IDs. Patriot Act, this is for you. This isn't for them. You got to read up here, because sometimes it's going to say that you need 2 IDs. So see? This one says must present at least 2 forms of identifications. So yeah, see, if I didn't read that, I would have just did 1, but it says 2. You got to read that, because sometimes it's 1, sometimes it's 2. If you want to just play it safe, just always do 2. State driver's license and whatever else they have. You're going to fill it out across the board. Place of insurance, ID number, date of birth, issue, photo, And then the second one, if they have their passport, check that off. And then place of issue, ID number, date of birth, issue, photo. Make sure you fill that out. They will not take the documents without your IDs. Or if they do take the documents, it's not going to be official until they have the IDs. Now you're going to sign as a signing agent right here. Date right there. Put your name, your title, and that's your section. That's a continuation of the Patriot Act. So you're good with that. Bar certification means that they are certifying that this loan is, everything that they see is accurate and correct. From the very beginning to now, they're certifying the loan. When you see this borrower certification authorization document, that means that we're almost done. Like, we're almost done. This is like towards the end most of the time. All right, I say most of the time because things change. Nothing's super consistent all the time, but for the most part, that's usually the case. Make sure the social security number here is correct, because there's going to be, if it's nothing there, make sure that they put their social security number on there, and have them sign and date per usual. So that's what the certification document is. They're certifying the loan. They're certifying that everything is correct to the best of their knowledge. So organize that. We don't want to look like messy notaries, okay? Look organized. All right. So the request of transcript of tax returns, all you really need to know for this one is that every information on here is correct. All right. Even the check boxes. And then if everything on here is correct, and that's including their social, their names, their address, you're going to go down here and have them sign and date. And if they have a spouse nearby, they're going to sign down here and date as well. They're requesting for this information, okay, for taxes and etc., anything that they need it for. And so this is going to be the W-9. So just make sure this information is correct. So you want them to confirm that this is correct. Their social security number is correct on here. If it's blank, have them fill it out, because there are times where it's blank. If they have an EIN number, have them fill that out instead if they want. If not, just keep that. Have them sign here. See that right there? Make sure they sign it. Always make sure you check for initial lines. Moving on, nothing to sign here. There usually isn't. It's usually just that one page. Continue. So this is if they took out a VA loan, which is what I see a lot because I live in a military state and I did live in a military town. I literally lived in Fort Bragg, North Carolina. So I get these a lot. I actually know exactly what this is. This is just a VA loan application. So when they're taking out a VA loan, there's going to be two applications, the loan application and the VA loan application. So you're just going to go through it with them and make sure these information is correct per usual. If you see an initial sign, which there is right there, have them initial. And there's nothing in the front here to sign, but there usually is something to sign in these documents, which is right here. So this is the signature of the borrower, date signed, and signature of co-borrower, but there's no co-borrower. Okay, so yep, usually there's two places to sign. So they just signed that one, and now you're gonna have them sign over here. Sometimes it's on the same page, sometimes it's not, like this one. So you're gonna have them sign here, date right here, co-borrower, no co-borrower, so leave that blank. Moving on. Your job as a notary is just to make sure that they sign and date, okay? So as long as you know where they sign and date, you know how to briefly give them descriptions of what the documents are about, that's your job. You did your job. You're good. All right. You don't need to do all this extra. All right. Don't start talking too much, because then you start talking too much, try to give them details and advice and all that. Then you just get yourself in trouble for no reason. So just don't do that. All right. You're just there to do your job as a notary and call it a day. All right. So for the impound authorization and first payment notification, I just want you to look at this and make sure it's what you're expecting. All right. So there's the loan amount here. They check these two boxes. So make sure that applies to you. And then I go down here and make sure that they know that their first payment is coming out on the 1st. Yeah, so that's what it says right here. And if they're like, what? I thought they said it was going to come out in June. Then you're like, well, you can call your lender and double check and make sure that's the correct scenario. So yeah, and they can take care of that, because I have nothing to do with this loan, so I can't answer that question. I don't know why they put May 1st instead of June 1st. All right, so I'm here to go over the document. Make sure you sign right here, Mr. Richard, and date right there. So the total payment is $1,300. So $1,340.15. Are you okay with that number? Just make sure they're okay with that number. Does that look familiar to you? Are you okay with that number? He's like, yeah, that's what we talked about. And then that's what he's gonna sign and date per usual. And we're gonna flip that on over. Tax information sheet, we do not fill this out, they do, okay, to the best of their knowledge. And that is it. Most likely will have a copy of their driver's license, okay? So I prefer a copy, but if they don't have a copy, you could take a picture and email it to them, to the title company. But that's it, guys. So In conclusion, that is the loan documents. This is specifically for North Carolina, but I've done for multiple different states, okay? So this is exactly what I see for the most part all the time. And don't forget that I live in a military state. So I've probably seen almost all documents at this point. People come and go. They go to different states all the time, and I'm always seeing different documents. This is a sample, but this is exactly how they look, all right? So I hope this video was helpful for you guys. You're the notary. You're not the lawyer. You're not the lender. Everybody has their part to play. The lender can't play the notary. The lawyer can't play the lender. We all have our part to play in this. So you have to pretty much play your role and stick to what you signed up for. And you signed up to just give a brief description of what the documents are about and not to explain to details why the numbers are the way they are. Okay? So as long as you remember that and that you're there to get a copy of their IDs and tell them where to sign, then you should be all good to go. Okay, so I just went through all what I want to say is 100 documents of refinance. Okay, so this is a refinance document. This is pretty accurate. It's actually sometimes thicker, but for the most part, they're all very repetitive. So once you know it, you're pretty much good to go to do signings and go get your money, honestly. So that's all I got for this video, guys. I hope this video was helpful. I hope it was beneficial to you guys. So let me know what you guys want me to do next, and I will make a YouTube video about it. I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.